Hello, Eurovision
Hey.
fam. We are live. It's Alesia Michelle, and I am yet again not alone, which is so great. I'm going to kick it off to right next to me, the other lady in the building. Kick it off.
Yeah, my name's Julia. I'm from Eurovision Hub, and I am the Swedish representative here today. Let's go down.
We need it.
Hey everyone, it is Miceal here, founder of Eurovision Hub. I'll go to this side.
Hey, it's Jan. It's former Delegation of Czech Republic, and nowadays Eurovision blogger, producer. Hey.
We love it. Thank y'all so much for joining me. We've been coming together, and this was really like the big night. I mean, technically, Norway is still going on. So we're going to talk about Melodifestivalen first, just to get it out of the way. And Charlotte Perrelli, Eurovision winner, Schlager Queen, and Tusse are going direct to the final. How do y'all feel about it?
Absolutely delighted, honestly. You know, this is the first week this year that I have correctly guessed and predicted everyone that got through. Before we heard the songs, I was like, these are the four. And lo and behold, here we go. But I'm delighted for Charlotte, first and foremost. You know, she had a bit of a career stumble back in 2017. So this was really the big redemption for her. And she came back with all guns blazing. What a song, bringing Schlager back to Melfest, and in a really cool current way, which it could appeal to a wider audience. And yeah, I did see Tusse going through as well, but the highlight for me is Charlotte. What about you guys?
Yeah, for me, what to say? How is it said? Like that. Like for me, it was the only song which probably deserves to go through, in my opinion. Like that's the quality I want at Eurovision. Like in general. Like I would be glad that this is going to become a standard for like each show, kind of, because this is something what's very far away from the rest by quality. Even it's a bit probably, Alesia will say, derivative kind of song of nowadays current music, but it's current music with high quality. I don't care if it's derivative. I like it. So for me, this was it, and that was it at all. I didn't like the rest. So.
Yeah, we are only a couple of minutes in.
And yeah,
and
sorry.
you're picking it up
and
like
I killed
that.
it all the sorry.
You did.
Yeah, but that's it.
I am so thrilled. I am so happy. I mean, Charlotte's song is the kind of Schlager, but like 2021 Schlager that I've been wanting for so long. It was so good. I'm weak for this kind of song. It's so good. She looked amazing. So much power. That's still in my head. I cannot get it out of my head. I thought it was so good. Tusse, that song floored me. I listened to the 1 minute snippet throughout the week, and I was like, oh, it's very hyped. I don't really get it. After tonight, I get it. I thought it was so good. And when that children choir came out, I was in tears. It was amazing. I'm very, very pleased with them going to the final. And I'm very glad Charlotte did go to the final. Like, even like, it doesn't matter if you're older or younger, what gender you are, like, I just feel like she deserved to be there because she's such a queen, and that people are not tired of her. If that makes sense. Like, people are still willing to give her a chance, and I'm very happy for that. I loved it.
Well, I'm gonna come in here being the wet blanket. You know, overall, I'm happy with like what made it through, and I kind of don't mind the fact that Tusse made it through direct to final. I think today when I tweeted out, I said Tusse and Charlotte direct to final, and then but I have to be honest. I think the song is derivative. It's nothing really new about it. Just for it to be as hyped as it was, I think I was waiting for something like truly like maybe a little bit different. And I'm just not really getting that. And I was hoping for maybe a little bit more of a vocal, and I didn't really get that. But I think it's a competent performance. I do not think that Sweden should send this to Eurovision. I go on record saying do not send it to Eurovision. But let me talk about the positive. Charlotte Perrelli getting out there and doing it for the kids, letting all the children know that this is how you do it. I loved the performance. My mom was not a huge fan of Charlotte's performance. I was really like curious to see what my mom would say. My mom was like, she seems stiff, and I was like, I think that's kind of like intentional with like all the voguing and whatnot. But I was really happy to see her go direct to the final. And now let's talk about Anna Hansen. Okay, we've got Alvaro and Klara at Honor Hansen, and I'm happy about that. I just really wanted Klara to make it through, honestly, and I'm happy for Alvaro. I wasn't in love with the song. I do think the song could be better, but given what we had in the rest of the semi, I'm okay with it. How do y'all feel?
I'm gonna jump in. Klara definitely deserves to go through. Like, again, I wasn't a big fan of the song when I just heard the minute snippet of it. Saw the whole thing and like, wow. It is a good song. I love her. She's amazing. The only thing that bothered me with that song is I felt like I was listening to it and I could hear 5 other songs that sounds very similar to this, kind of like copy and pasting from 5 different songs, and they became this one. Still good, but it wasn't anything original for me. Still good. Baila Baila is gonna be my most listened to song of 2021. I am so weak for Latin music, and I don't care if it's cheesy. I don't care if it's nothing new. I loved it so much. That was my favorite of this week. And I don't care what anybody says. I loved it because I love that kind of music. How cheesy it might be. Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, I'm gonna support your Bala Bala campaign there, because I loved it as well. It's exactly what we knew Alvaro was coming with, and that was good to hear. It definitely transported me back to like the early noughties, the boy band like summer hits where they go to Spain to like film the music video, and it took me back. Like I said on our live a few days ago, I do think the lyrics are just not strong enough given the songwriting team it has. I did expect more. But I'm happy for him that, just that he's getting there. And it really adds a lot of variety now to the finalists. Think about it. We're getting a mix of genres and stuff like that. So I'm here for Alvaro, and I'm absolutely over the moon that Klara is getting through to Anna Hansen. Honestly, like, I straight up was clapping. When she got into the top 5, I was here by myself clapping. That song, I think it's maybe one of my favorite Melfest songs this year. It reminds me so much of Lisa Ajax, My Heart Wants Me Dead. It's just that easy but like powerful pop. And someone said on Twitter, they were like, Michael, don't you think it sounds like Ellie Goulding, Love Me Like You Do as well? And I was like, yes, it makes sense. I love all these songs. Pop perfection and a great pop justice was served tonight. Come on, Klara, for the final. Come on, please.
So I got a really...
Here we go. Here we go.
No,
come on.
No, I wouldn't say anything like wrong, because I got it from last discussion we had, and I understand how diversity of really, like, it's sometimes not too much about the quality, about the entertainment, and I completely got it. So Alvaro, Estrella, that's just good. I was just, today it was really hard for me because I was overseeing like four at the same time, four semifinals, finals, whatever. Actually, now it's time that they will just say if Teflon Brothers or a blind channel wins the UMK representing Finland. We'll see. And then I was overseeing as well the MGP finals. And if you then compare it to the semifinal quality of MGP of Melfest today, it's just hard, to really follow up. So I wouldn't mind whoever. Just for me, it was Tusse, and then I don't really care who just go through, because like everybody kind of deserves it. Like, I completely understand all those thoughts, opinions you have, because they all make sense, and it depends on the like angle of the view we watch it. As a producer who wants just quality, like more quality over entertainment, it's hard for me, of course, to choose. But if you just look at it like a child, or you want entertainment or just different perspective, that works perfectly for the diversity of the show at the finals. And I think that's a good choice what they have, even by stagings, because they're all very different.
I think blind channel just won.
Woo!
Did they just?
Okay.
Yeah, they just
Yes.
did it. Yeah. Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
see the video,
They made
you know, even I like that song, and I don't like rock. But Blind Channel is good.
Yeah, I liked it. It's
Dark
Linkin Park
Finland
/
are
Limp
back.
Bizkit, Korn, this kind of new metal
Limp
classic.
Bizkit, yes.
But it works.
It's very
Good for
Linkin Park.
Eurovision.
Yeah, it's very Korn. I wanted to talk about Finland, and I have to say, like, I finally today, because I was like, you know, I can like listen to some of these songs now, because if I had been following the national selection, I feel like then I'd get really disappointed because I'd just be like jamming to the song all along. So I literally was like, I'm not even gonna touch Finland. I'm not even gonna touch, like, even though I did hear Monument, and I think y'all made me listen to Witchwoods. So
We did.
y'all did make so I
Because
heard those two songs. But to keep the focus, I guess, on Finland, after listening this morning, after waking up, I went through all of them. And for me, I just was like, okay, now I don't know why I did this to myself, because like I really just want Finland to send Blind Channel. And if they don't, I'm gonna be really disappointed. But I am happy that Finland have sent them. This might end up being like, sorry, Jan, this is going to be probably like my number one at Eurovision right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Honestly.
okay with that. Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. As I was doing a reaction for this Finnish selection, like that was one of the first month ago or something, and it was a super strong lineup. Like in general, like most of the songs, the quality, I was like, whatever you send, I'm okay with that. Like most likely. And they sent Blind Channel. I said it's a bit too much old school. It's nothing new, definitely nothing new. It's new to Eurovision, but it's really like old school new metal. It's like 20-year-old thing, you know. But it still works. I love it. I was raised on this music. I love it.
Wait,
and for me, as a producer,
do you think that they'll struggle? Do you think that this will struggle in the semi to qualify?
I'm not sure. No, depends on the staging. The staging was, I think, a bit weak, but that really depends on what the competition will be. But from my side, like the producer, it's a great thing because I have another diversity to you know, I will talk to the like hardcore metal band, whoever, and I will show them Hungarians for 2018, and now I can show them this and say like, no, it's really for everyone. The Eurovision for everyone, and it means quality, you know, in every possible genre. You like it or not, but for me, it's a great argumentation thing. So I'm really glad they made it through. Sorry, I was talking too much.
I was going to say, I'm very happy that one, because I feel like when it comes to rock music, Finland is the best at doing rock music, especially growing up in Scandinavia. We just, every time we heard a rock song, it's like, oh, this is from Finland, 100%, because that's just what they do best. I mean, Finland won with a rock song, so they should sing a rock song again. And I don't even like rock, but I love this song. I think it's so good. And I read somewhere that they won big. Like they got like 500 points, and the second one was like 180 or something. Can someone please tell me what
they won by far, because the second was Teflon Bar. They won the juries and they won the celebrity.
Who came second? Can someone tell me?
The Teflon Bars.
Teflon.
With Pandora?
They didn't do quite well with the jury. So the Blanche is like overall winner, which is always good. Like everyone was like, yes, this is it. That's even great mandate for them as well.
Yeah. I loved Oscars with Lie. I really liked that one. I hope
it was the best staging of the night.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch UMK tomorrow. Teflon Brothers, that's awesome. Pandora, I'm gonna call her later and like congratulations, because oh, girl.
Well, how do you think that this kind of shakes up maybe your top 10 right now for Eurovision? Because so Finland is sending Blind Channel. Is it going to be number one for you right now, or are there some songs that you think might be better? What do y'all think?
Talking to all of us. Right now, that is my favorite, because I am not a big fan of the other songs so far, other than Ukraine. I like Ukraine. But definitely Blind, and which is crazy for me to say, as again, I don't like rock music. It's so good. It's really good. So that's definitely my favorite.
It's catchy.
I'm gonna download it.
It's great.
Yeah, it's in my top 5 at the moment for sure. But over the next 7 days, we're getting like, I don't know, like 6, 7 more songs. So everything can change. But right now, it's definitely up there. Ukraine's still number 1, but Finland is like, I'd say top 3 for sure.
Oscar came third. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's in my top 8 for sure, because it's 8 songs already. Just only. No, I think it's going to be high. You know, I prefer the Roop. I think they're like, this is a band which can. I think this is a special thing. Like the band, the song, they like the whole thing. They can do wonders for Eurovision in the future. I think. I hope. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but that can happen as well. But I really feel it that way, that it's really super special. As well as Ukrainians, they're just showing that what kind of genres mixture of folk and rape, whatever, it can really work. And I really love the Czech Republic's one. So for me, Blind Channel, it's something I will always like. But is this the really like winner of the Eurovision for me? No, definitely. But it's a top quality thing, yes. So I'm really super glad. Top 10, like Atari.
The Blind Channel song, I showed that to my friend who's not a big Eurovision fan, and she fell in love with it. She was like, "No way, this has to go." But she was one of those she was like a MySpace girl. She was into that like rock emo vibe, and she was like, "This takes me back. This is so nostalgic." You know, we have the 80s thing within like pop music, so this noughties kind of throwback rock vibe could go down well, I think, for sure. So I'm so glad that it's going to be there.
I actually forgot about Czech Republic. That was a good song. I really liked that song.
That was the worst thing I've heard.
Huh?
He's joking.
I was like, what?
Okay, so they're saying, I guess so. People, thank you. Keep the results coming for MGP here, because
Keiino maybe
I actually
they make it. They made it to the final.
I actually like your song.
I love your song.
Wait, I like your song. Mm-hmm. I really like it, but I like a rock moment done well, and I do feel like Jorn's, it's done well. It's very classic rock. It's sticking true to its roots. So I definitely was a fan of that. I do like Monument. I think Monument's great. Tix, I was underwhelmed by, because I heard all the hype and everything. So then when I like saw the song, I just was like, oh no, like this is like a non-starter for me, like completely.
Yeah, and I think the staging doesn't lend itself very well, especially if you got the people tuning in for the one night only. They see this over the top wings, they see the angels. It could be taken like a joke act and not for what it is meant to be, which is not what a country wants, and not what the contest needs either. So I'm not sure if I'd like to see Tix there, but I don't think we will. But yeah, keep the results coming in. It's nice reading them.
Okay, so let's
exciting.
I was gonna shift a little bit. So how are you feeling about Melodifestivalen as a whole? Have we heard the winning song yet? What do you think?
I'm always scared to say that because
this is hard.
We have the big, the heavy hitters, as Alesia would say. They're coming next week. So I'm just don't want to say anything yet, but I'm gonna say we haven't. I
mean, I fell in love with Tusse's song. I think it's so good, and it just because it's all because of the children's choir, really. But it was really good. But I can't say anything until next week. I mean, it's definitely gonna be. I definitely think it's gonna be top 5 or even top 3. If it's gonna win, not sure. I wouldn't be sad if they won, but I want to hear the rest of the songs before I say anything.
Yeah, I agree with Julia. It's that, like to say, was whole package. Maybe the overuse of back vocals again. It was really visible at some points. At some points, you can really like rewind it, and just go. Because there are like two points where you can really hear it, but overall, I love to watch him. I love how he dance. I don't even need the dancers around. Even they were made like really, like not too taking of the perception of it. So I was always watching him, curious how he serves. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it from the first to the end. It was really fast. No this blind space in it. Like it just worked a whole 3 minutes for me, and I think that this is the strongest still now.
So
can I just say one quick thing? Sorry, when the faces came out at the end, I was shocked because I literally from 1 second to another saw my friend's face. I was like, my friend just came out on stage. I was like, wait, is that Peter? And that was a moment for me. Sorry, I just wanted to say that. I got real excited. I was like, I know that dude. His face is just on Melfest.
So this is my thinking. I think that really Melodifestivalen ultimately is going to come down to a battle for third place, because I do think first and second are probably going to be down to the mamas and daughter. And although I really like We're Still Young, and although I really like The Beat of Broken Hearts, yeah, although I really like both of those songs, I do ultimately feel like the mamas are gonna, I think that there's still space for the mamas to come through and do something. I really do, because I think if we're talking about Tusse's really just stage show being so impactful, I mean, like, for real, y'all? Like, if that's the one that we're talking about being so impactful, for me, there's still some space for the mamas to come in with some quality, because because the song really isn't doing anything new. It's not really doing anything new. And I think even melodically it isn't doing anything new. And I honestly do feel like production is working overtime for the staging and the presentation of voices. And I think sonically, we're not really getting anything impactful. And I think putting that in the mix, to me, it's on the same plane as like Low-Key Set Me Free. Sonically, Voices is on the same plane as Set Me Free, because they're both safe, inoffensive, sort of middle of the road tracks that I think, are fine, but
it kind of applies to most of the songs in general.
I'm not arguing that point either. I'm not arguing that point either. But I'm saying, when we think about now placing this into what we have at Eurovision so far, with Ukraine, Lithuania, now Finland, to me, it's then just swimming in the deep end, with baby floaties on. It's not really, I don't think it carries the weight that those other songs carry as of now. And then when I think about what other people will serve, Iceland being in the dark, in the background, coming through definitely with something of quality, and definitely something that's going to feel sonically 100%. Diverse. I think that's why I say a Set Me Free and a Voices is really like kind of drowning in the deep end a little bit. Because it's not just, we got to take it out and put it into the next phase. And the next phase is Eurovision.
Yeah.
So let's preview a little bit. So we got semifinal 4 for Melodifestivalen coming up. What are y'all thinking? Based off of all these results, what are you thinking?
Oh, I really wish that it's not gonna be just staging, thing, because overall Melodifestivalen this year, and I predicted, because they're doing like each year a step forward to it. It's more about stagings and originality of staging, or perfection of it, and they're doing great work television-wise. I must say, like the best so far. Like the lights are soft, like everything really works like on point, great. But it's losing a bit of this vibe of that's Melodifestivalen, kind of, it's more pushing on songs which will be visually great than the songs which will be sonically great, as maybe that's my problem as well. And we're choosing about what kind of quality we have, but we definitely didn't have this killer song. I really miss it, but I don't miss it in just this year. I in general miss it like in 5 years, since 2016, I would say.
Yeah, there has been a shift in regards to like the songs and originality. They're maybe trend chasers. Like they straight up say, this is a Sia-esque song. This is a Troye Sivan song. Like it's common knowledge, and I really don't want them to do that, and it does put me off. But I really feel like this week Melfest arrived. It's the Melfest I know and love. This is the first week I've got really excited. I've played the rehearsal clips. I've loved watching it, and I've got really behind it. Looking forward to next week, I think we're looking at qualifications from Tess Merkel from Alcazar, the Mamas, Eric Saade, and I'm putting a bet on our newcomer, Ephraim Leo. That's my 4. I think direct to final is going to be the Mamas and Eric. But then you never know, because with Tess, Lena, and I think Andreas has gone direct to final as well. So we have to consider the power of Alcazar. What about you guys?
I agree with you. The only person I would sub out for Emil might, even though I really do like his just music and his catalog, would actually possibly be Sanex. I think Sanex, that's the band, right? Yeah, Sanex. So to me, I am thinking like maybe Eric and the Mamas, or maybe even like the Mamas and Tess direct to final, but then like Eric and Sanex at Anna Hansen is sort of what I'm thinking for next week at Melodifestivalen. And I don't know. But we shall see. And I also want to highlight too, I mean, I think the other thing about the Mamas, and I know Miceal and I have said this before, but their songwriting team is very different than the songwriting team from last year, especially if we're looking at catalog wise of what they even tend to do. So I think people just thinking, oh, it's going to be like a gospel song. Like, honestly, like Move was not a gospel song. Like I like, and I don't know, like as the American in the room, like I just really need to say that song was not a gospel song. It was like pop with like a little like dash of some R&B in there, but it was a dash. It was a pop song, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it was not gospel. But this songwriting team for this year actually might be giving us a little bit more dip in the soul than what we had from last year, which I think really could work to their advantage. So that's just where I'm thinking. But yeah, Julia, what are you thinking for next week at Melodifestivalen?
Good question. I am really intrigued about the Mamas because I've listened to the songs that they have released after, and I haven't been the biggest fan just because, well, they're not bad, but they all sound very similar. They're sticking to their, their sound, what they do, which is awesome. That's what you like. That's all right. But I'm hoping for something that's going to blow our minds and like, oh my God, kind of moment, which I think they might give us. I mean, it's the Mamas. Whatever the Mamas do is going to be good, but I want to be great, not just good. I want it to be great. The thing about Eric, I'm not very excited, to be honest. Last time he was on, he did Sting, right?
Yeah,
right?
2015. Yeah.
I did not like that one. And I'm not a big fan of his music in general. Popular was fine, but the rest of them, I'm like, yeah. So I just feel like he's going to sing with those songs that we've heard 1,000 times before. And I think after Danny and Anton, I think people like, we have 2 men doing pop already, kind of thing. We don't need another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the battle, in the beginning, when the artist was revealed, everybody started like, Eric versus Sade, the battle of the blah, 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 blah. There is no battle. Like, the battle is between the Mamas and daughter. Nobody cares about those 2 dudes because they know that they're not in it to win it. They're in it just because they couldn't perform because of COVID. So you kind of see what I'm getting. And I am honestly forgotten every other artist that's going to be next week. I know Tess. I'm excited for Tess because she just brings joy. But other than that, I've completely forgotten who else is going to be there. Who's going to be there? Lovad and...
Lovad, Ephraim, Eric,
Sanex.
the Mamas, Sanex.
And Klara.
Well, wait. Yes, the other.
Yeah,
the other Klara.
Oh,
with a C.
Yeah, I forgot about her.
Yeah, Klara with a C.
Oh, yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what is exciting me about Eric, and I said to Alesia as well, he mentioned somewhere that he's bringing, he described the song as Oriental. He said there's Oriental influences, and that got me excited. I need to find that article again, but if he's dipping into his Palestinian roots, I think this could be something good. You know, I don't want the Sting. I don't want any of his generic stuff that we've got. He could be bringing something, but if he's tapping into that direction, then I'm here for it.
I'll wait just for the snippets because like I just have no clue what can happen, and that can just give me some direction. I just don't want to speculate anyway because I don't know those artists, just mamas. The rest is very new to me. I just really don't know what to expect, and just make myself curious because like that really works better than to be like sad that something wrong happened. You know, like what's happening in Norway. I'm just this is horrible.
Do we have an update in Norway? In the
Yeah.
chat,
Yeah,
or
Yeah, there are 4
what?
finalists. It's
Oh.
Jorn,
Who are they?
it's Tix, it's Keiino, and it's
Jorn?
who's
Yarn and
those
Blasma
Blossomafian, which is the best from this pick. Like like the quality stayed already in the final, and then we have like jokes. But of course, Blossomafian is a great joke. I think that's the quality joke. That's the one we were talking last week about. The rest, like
Ooh.
it's just for me that like they don't want to win. Like I don't know why this is happening. Like their threat Eurovision, it's something special. I would be glad that they sent quality, that they proved that it can rise the quality up because they can do it. Their final was super strong, but people
let's
doesn't care
talk about
it,
that. Yeah, let's talk about that because we had like so many like finals happening. What do y'all think about kind of having the national finals all on the same day? I know like you're playing to your home audience, of course, but is there an argument to be made to maybe space them out a little bit so then they're not all on the same night? What do y'all think about that?
Like
yeah,
they're doing it sorry.
I was just going to say, like, give the artists a chance, you know, because in March we're saturated. Like, I'm not ready for the abundance of music. It's going to take me a couple of weeks to digest them and, you know, sit with them. And I was so happy to see that Leslie Roy said that she's going to give her song next week when initially they were speculating. I heard anyway that they were
Keiino won.
Oh, Keiino won.
Wait, did they really? Wait, hold on. Okay,
No, Gold Jewel.
No, they're not.
Oh.
Wait, hold on, because y'all could just like fake us out in the comments.
I still see a Tix talking. No, now they're waiting.
They didn't win.
Okay.
Then the gold. Then the duel. Who was it? Keiino won. You're tripping me.
No, I'm like, because they literally could just get us.
It's a duel.
It's a duel between Keiino and
who? If it's Tix, it's like we be new.
Oh, it's Tix.
Okay.
Oh
no?
shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tix then there's no competition, is it?
Or but is there?
Yeah, I think there is competition now.
I don't remember Tix. Which one was that?
Tix is the
Fallen Angel.
Oh, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, me either. That's what I'm saying. It's so crazy for me because in going back and finally getting into Melody Grand Prix today, you know, they had a really strong final. And actually, the national selection itself had a lot of good songs. I will say
even the semis.
The semis had good songs too. So I finally like listened to just like all of the songs from Melody Grand Prix. And I do wonder, Julia, you said that really Sweden and Norway, y'all kind of compete with each other to a certain degree. So I'm really curious to see who Norway sends, because then to me, I'm just like, okay, can Sweden top the winner to a certain degree? But I will say, you know, this like Melody Grand Prix this year was really, really quality. And I do think that they might be stomping a little bit on Sweden this year. I'm going to say it, actually. I think Melody Grand Prix has had a little notch on quality. And I think I shouldn't even just say quality, but quality meets originality this year. Because just given Melodifestivalen, and even though I really do feel like this week was probably like my favorite like semifinal of songs from Melfest, honestly, like I could kind of listen to all of these. I could listen to this entire semi back to front and not skip anything from Melodifestivalen. Definitely. Whereas I think the other ones had some songs I'm like, I could skip that one. But yeah, like can you enlighten us on basically the Sweden Norway competitive rivalry?
No, it's really true though. Like I must say, I'm very impressed by Norway this year. I loved almost every single song. I was like, this is amazing. I kind of meant like a neighbor high five. I was like, come on, Norway. And then I remembered, wait, we're actually, enemies in this. No, what we always do is that this isn't everything. Whenever Sweden and Norway's in some way competing against each other, I don't care if we came second to last. If Norway came last and we won over Norway, we're happy. Like that's literally what we do in everything. We're like siblings, Like I remember when I think it was 2019 when there was a wrong with the results. So something with what happened?
It was the jury that had not followed direction. They didn't read the directions correctly, and they did it all wrong. And so
something happened. Yeah, and I remember listening to some podcast about this, and they're like, well, they kind of made Sweden go from 5th to 6th or something like that, whatever. But they were like, at least we beat Norway. What they said, like, at least we did that. And it's same with sports too. Like if we beat Norway, we're happy. It doesn't matter if we're dead last. If we won over Norway, that's all good. But honestly, I'm very proud of Norway for having such a strong final. That if they have a song that's better than Sweden, I don't care. Because I kind of think I am very happy with the originality of the songs in Norway this year, actually. And I'm a little bit disappointed in Melfest for not so far setting something or presenting something that's more original and not something we've done before. Honestly, I don't think Sweden ever going to win Eurovision again because people just hate us.
Well, they will.
Sweden's winning. I do. I think Sweden's coming up on a win within the next 5-7 years.
Yeah. I think they need to rechange a bit how they do it. Just really reimagine like what kind of songs they're bringing in, and once they are just find out like this is the way, because I think this is the only problem, they'll just go for it because they are not afraid of making like shifts. Like not really. It still works, but it won't work that much. But the thing is with the NGP, like for me as a producer and was making big things in here as well in Czech Republic, it's a role model how you can do a national selection by scale, and as well how they showed is as well with the quality of songs. Even in the semifinals they were great songs which didn't make it through. But what's really, I think, and that's maybe just my point of view, because definitely not the fans point of view, is that if you just give the full power just to people to vote, they will just ruin your chances to win Eurovision, because they they did it already in MGP, because they won't win with they didn't win with the Spirits in the Sky, which was Barry's song, and they just go there with this, which is even more jokier. Like there is those moments with like I know the general public, like countries like Czech Republic, for them it will be like, okay, this is the good old shitty Eurovision, because they will just, like, this is it. This is the act you can show, because everybody here will be laughing at it, just laughing. Like this is the Eurovision, and you said it's changing. Well, it's not. So this, for me, it's a problem that they make, that even the sticks, it doesn't really matter. Both, it's just this thing. Is it good? I don't know. That what it's the popularity contest then in Norway, you know, more than song contest. I think it's a bit of problem.
But if it's down to Tix and Keiino, that's what they're saying, right? Is it just down to Tix and Keiino?
Yeah.
And so those are the two options. Monument is the far better selection than Tix, which legitimately might not qualify.
I don't know.
Like I don't see Tix like being a surefire
because it's even more jokey by the staging,
And people love Keiino. Europe loves them.
They won the televote. Like
Eurovision fans love them. It's the people who vote. If you just leave the votes only on online and everybody could vote, so even the people who are not afraid to spending money on it, they will never win. That's the thing. Because like Eurovision, they will never.
I have to challenge. No, but I have to challenge the yoke piece, because I do think, you know, so much, and me as an American coming into watching Eurovision, I want to see, like, I want kind of like a Balkan ballad. I honestly don't know why Sweden hasn't just sent like a straight up Sami artist like lately. I think the last like potentially thing that we had was Roger Ponter, and that was amazing. That could go to Eurovision now, like low key, and because that's the benefit of an ethnic song. The benefit of an ethnic song is that it is timeless. I'm gonna be doing so I already edited. I'm revisiting Eurovision years past and gonna do a series on my channel. So I did 2013, and then I just watched 2004, and what was it? Jelko, who at the time they had to compete together. It was like Macedonia and Serbia, I think, had to compete together for Eurovision 2004.
Oh, Serbia and
Jelko.
Montenegro.
Serbia and Montenegro. The song, yes, the song could go to Eurovision now. That is the benefit of sending something ethnic. It ends up having the ability to be timeless. And I do think ultimately, you know, at Eurovision, this is the Eurovision Song Contest. I don't think it is necessarily about the most trendy thing. And I don't know if it necessarily should be. I think it could be something trendy. It could be something current. But I do think it should be reflective in some way of your culture, whether you bring that out in the staging, whether it's out in the instrumentation. Yeah. That's like, I think the benefit.
That depends really on country to country. Like, if I just show you what the classical Czech thing, I would really feel like mad if we do this, you know. But it depends to country, diversity of the country. But let me argue with you a bit. The most viewed Eurovision was the Swedish one in 2016, which was full of trending quality music, most likely. Probably the strongest year ever by the music quality. The ethnic kind of song won, but especially because it had charisma. You wouldn't even say it's like, you wouldn't mind it because it was quality, I think, kind of. But there was a lot of layers of quality in that year. It was the most viewed, most trendy, Justin Timberlake, you know, trendy thing here that was there. And I believe that if we even put even more quality, if we just take as a role model, it will even grow higher, because that's what people actually really want more. I feel it this way. Like, if you just make a more serious contest, because it was the most serious contest ever. It was in like 5-6 countries could win. Top 10, super unpredictable. You know, Iceland didn't even make it to the finals, which they were favorites to win it. That was crazy year. And that was make even the drama, because like all the countries psychically, you know, took it seriously. And everybody was like, who's gonna win? Russians put this great staging, you know, somebody else bring a great song. Like Armenia was like, that was like, that was my first Eurovision. I was like, oh my God, what the hell, you know? And
yeah,
I see that if we put more and more quality, the brand just rising, just, you know, super fast.
Well, I agree with you. So we're not going to debate there, because 2016, I definitely think was probably the highest quality year of Eurovision. I say that comfortably. I mean, and a lot of the songs then, I argue too, I think even though it might not have been like a lot of ethnic, I still think, like, think about Armenia, we still got some instrumentation that was ethnic. You know what I mean? Like, so I do think there's something.
But in the modern way, like in the current wave, you know, like it was the mixture of it, not the folk only.
Someone actually says quality is subjective.
I agree.
I semi-agree. I semi-agree with that. Semi.
Yeah.
Because I think and I also think it depends upon who your critic is. Because I think some people will call something not quality just because it's not their taste.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a difference. So that's why I actually think that there's something to be said for quality. There is a way that you can objectively denote quality from like trash.
Yeah. But
And
I
just
wouldn't
find-
say that having a contest full of like radio mainstream songs that
Sounds boring.
yeah, having cultural songs wouldn't mean a joke. You know, the echo
Yeah,
what you
for
said,
sure.
Jan. Like,
No, I didn't mean it this way. I meant like, you know, this year already you have like all songs probably which won already. If I don't count MGP because no one won, that's still we don't know the winner. We have all songs very different, kind of very different. I would say that different. Maybe that Set Me Free and what was the, you know, that's similar kind of rank, but all of them are radio friendly. You know, Blind Channel is radio friendly as well, but it's very different genre. So I wouldn't really even put that in like radio friendly for me means that more people will want to hear it. I'm okay completely with that. Always change different studio versions from the live performance. We saw it many times this year already, like how it's where it drags you somewhere else with studio version. When you see it live, sometimes you see, oh, the staging's not that good, or the performer doesn't have the charisma you expected, or it sounds very different. So that's competition of live performances, which makes it as well very different, ethnical or not. But I really agree that it's a lot about taste. What you think it's taste, but the thing is when you can choose what you want for, when you can shape how you want to do Eurovision next, you can be the leader of how you can do it, and you really can, you know, lead this way. You will just think a bit differently than a fun, even how it seems maybe
Yeah.
wrong.
We
but
have an interesting question
Yeah, I
too
was gonna
that someone
say,
just
please.
posed. What do y'all think? Yeah, only 3 countries have not sent a song at least partly in their own language since the rule was abolished in 1999: Azerbaijan, Sweden, and Latvia. Which one will leave the club last? What do you think?
Sweden. And I
Yeah.
hate that. I hate it. And that just because every time I talk to a person about Melfest, a Swede, and they say like, do you like that song? For example, Emil tonight. And I was like, it's good, but it's in Swedish. We can't send something Swedish to Eurovision. I'm like, why not? Like it has to be English. No, it does not. Everybody, like we have to then translate it. Why? No, we don't. Like for me, I would love the day we send Jon Henrik and someone joiking or something more Sami, which is like, I don't feel like Swedes are ever gonna do that, and it kind of makes me mad. But at the same time, we've already heard that because Norwegians, the Norwegian culture and Swedish culture is very, very similar. So we've already seen joiking in Keiino last year. That's literally all culture too. So that's already been seen. So if we then do that, it's like it's nothing new because I've heard it already. You kind of know what I'm saying? So
I hear that because, yeah, I was wondering too. I always joke with Keiino, and I think I even said this to them to their face. I was like, y'all basically scoop Sweden because there really is no reason why Sweden has not given us Keiino. You know what I mean? Like the proverbial Keiino. You know, kind of like this master band of folks who had solo careers, had done their own things, and sort of come together to create this band. Like Sweden could have sent it. So to this question, I might, you know, here's the thing. I don't want it to be Sweden last, but I could see Azerbaijan doing something super ethnic. Perhaps before Sweden. I probably could see them doing that. I mean, in theory, they still could this year.
yeah, but their selection process probably, you know, grabs the song from different songwriters from different countries, so it wouldn't happen. I remember last year I was a part of their panel selecting the song. They had the guy there that was awesome. He was just, you know, sitting in front of the camera and just, you know, casting the song out. It was like, I don't know even if it was English or probably English, but it was like him singing like very naturally, like nothing special about the song, but he was super special. That was it. I was like, why did they choose the generic song? Why did they do it? Because they had the guy who was like, if not winner of Eurovision, he was the winner of the hearts of the people, because like that worked like perfect, and like Salvador Sobral modern kind of way. That was just awesome. I was like wow, this is a performer. This is the person. This is the person I want to see on stage. You know, not the generic thing. Like if you have to, if you can choose, that's the thing, you know. But with the, you know, I like Benny has this line in the song, you know, in Czech this year, and every time it hits, I always say like, ah, because it's just weird, like it's just, you know, typical Benny kind of, which is a cheesy thing. But no, like that was like without it, I would like it even more. But maybe that brings the edge for you guys because you don't understand it, or you don't understand the melody how he says it. So it's just, you know, that.
Yeah, there's some interesting comments to be said about that. Like, for example, Croatia. Under our video on YouTube, there was a debate happening where people said, it was a Croatian, they said, why do you always expect us to send things in our language, things in our own instruments? Have you thought about that? Maybe we don't want that for a change, you know, like, and I kind of felt that.
Stereotypes.
Yeah, I felt that with Ireland because, you know, people really want us to send our heritage a lot of the time. And sometimes we don't want to be represented that way. And I thought it was so interesting to hear a Croatian's perspective. They said, you want us to bring our Balkan ballads, you want this, that, and the other. And same with a lot of Greek comments too. They're like, you know, that's what we've done, but can we show you something else? And that it really made me think like, oh, like,
it's true.
If you want to send your song in English, then go for it, but just know that we are open and we would really like to hear it. But I thought it was super interesting.
And someone asked me something. Wait, hold on.
They asked about Dandy. Yeah, do you think that Dandy Dansa would be the closest thing? I feel like we sort of answered that earlier, though, in theory.
I mean, sure, but I'm not a big fan of that song, actually, unfortunately.
But he's a great performer.
He is. He's an amazing performer. He knows he can. Oh, amazing! It's just a song. It was not a bad song. I enjoyed it, but I just don't. Again, I just know that he's not in it to win it. So he just in it to show what he can do. He doesn't want to win again. Like he really, again, he hasn't won yet, but he doesn't want to win. If he wanted to win, he would have sent something completely different. I know that for sure. But if he comes second again, I'm going to laugh. What is it? Julia, do you think replacing? Actually, no. The answer for me is actually no. And that is because, as I said earlier, the Swedes don't want us to send a Swedish song. I think Europe wants that more than we do. So, but someone else said something in comments earlier. I'm gonna put my pen down. Said that that Jon Henrik hasn't gotten that much points from the international jury, which actually surprises me because a lot of people say that they want something different from Sweden, you know. But then again, that kind of songs doesn't get any points, at least from the international juries. And to be fair, that's just a very small amount of people from each country.
Yeah,
but
I think it's more of a jury thing than like, I think televoters would like to maybe see something different from Sweden. But I think the juries are very appeased with what they're currently getting from Sweden. And I think someone had brought up, like what went down with Denmark. And I know, Miceal, you've been sort of interested in what's going on at Dance Melody Grand Prix. So I don't know if you want to highlight that real quick.
Yeah, so I heard that they submitted a song and got rejected by the Danish broadcaster, which was so interesting because the only broadcasters who haven't sort of invited the returning artists back or acknowledged them was Belarus and Denmark. Like, how do they even compare as countries? And I was just a bit disappointed.
And Norway.
And Norway. Oh no, they invited her back, but she said no.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, did she?
She was invited back. Yeah, she said maybe in a year or two, but yeah, the offer was given to her, but she said no. So yeah, and even the Danish selection, I'm kind of thinking, how bad was the song? Because the selection isn't strong anyway.
The problem was the song was good. The song wasn't bad. I heard a clip of it on Twitter, and the song was actually not bad. It was very much so in the vein of what they had kind of done last year, but I do think was elevated from what they had last year. But I actually would say last year with Denmark, I actually thought Denmark was going to qualify. last
me too.
year
Yeah, they
with
were-
Ben and Tan.
I loved it.
Yeah, because they can
So-
surprise it was looking natural.
Yeah.
I believe in it, kind of. But the thing
Well-
is, we don't know, of course, what happened there. Backstage. Sometimes the song can it's maybe it's sometimes it's not only about songs, because like it's about relationships, whatever. You never know if the contract making was pain in the ass. We don't know that. We will never. Like things are more complex,
fair.
Wait,
No, that's
Miho, what happened? What happened in
saying-
Denmark?
So the artist, the act that was selected last year, wasn't invited back or asked to just represent them again.
Oh.
They said today they did submit a song, but it wasn't accepted for the final. And I just thought, could you not have just created a spot for them? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
at least that.
Yeah, like
It's a bad
Lithuania
song.
did.
It's not
or-
gonna win.
yeah.
But
yeah, but
okay. The
like-
chat is going crazy.
Okay, so basically it's really close with Tix, but they also might be
4,000
doing
votes?
some creative, but they also might be doing some creative production and might have
They
talked to
did.
their homeboy Krister in Sweden. I'm not yeah.
Yes, no.
I wouldn't
I just
even
wanna
buy it,
round off
but I mean, it is
on,
possible for Tix to win.
Yeah, it looks like he is. I just want to comment on
Tix
the
winning, like
the
by a
Keiino
lot.
thing
Trump saying,
about how Keiino have shown us as fans and viewers that we do this kind of music does work. The Yorkie and the traditional with pop. For a while maybe we doubted it, and I didn't see them winning the televote. I didn't see that coming, and they did, and that really. I guess that opened a lot of broadcasters' eyes to be like, oh, why did we not take that risk? So hats off to Norway. And if they do go this, he doesn't agree. But it was a big surprise. And the televoters do the everyday viewer is not tuning in to maybe hear a song on the radio. They want something different. And that was different. It's a bit kitsch. It's a bit cute. And it catches your eye, especially the Yorkin. Tix has won, you guys.
He won.
But it wasn't. He won.
I don't even remember.
He was gonna win. He's gonna win. He won.
Wow.
He won by 100,000 votes.
Oh wow,
So,
that's a lot.
by a lot. So goodbye Norway from the Eurovision. But I was speaking to back to the theme. I was speaking to Stig. I had a great interview with him just a few days ago, and he was talking about how they balance entertainment part and the music quality part, both very important because they're making family program. And what Norway will send, it's up to Norway, people who will vote. That's up to them, and that's their choosing. It depends, the taste and I don't know, maybe taste for the music or what you want to show at your for Czech Republic. When I was there, it was we can show that we can do music in quality because our own market sucks, and it's hard for the artist who wants to show themselves abroad because their own market just killing them, killing their inspiration and whatever. So it's really different. So if we send something traditional, wow, I'm 100% for when it's gonna have the quality. I would say this works like some German artists do. They can really easily send something in German and it will sound just great. I think that applies for every country, but it can have this just appeal kind of. So
but I have to say, hats off to the Czech Republic. I did say that in our video as well. I was like, you guys are a model right now for for a country with maybe not as big of a budget as other countries. You're really you're showing other smaller countries and broadcasters.
But we are same big as Sweden, so that's really depends what the big means. By the inhabitants, we have the same amount of people of Sweden.
Yeah,
twice as Norway,
Ireland.
It's hard.
Yeah, Ireland, for example, we wouldn't have as much budget to put in as other countries, is what I mean. So it's hard to be creative with your selection. I guess you guys are really a model to look at, especially Bulgaria as well. So I wish Ireland would adopt what you guys are doing. So I have to say fair play to you for the work you've done there, for sure.
Yeah, but it's a process,
So people are going crazy right now.
Yeah, well,
I don't even remember Tix's song. Was it the only thing that makes me mad is they said it was first in Norwegian and now it's in English.
I was going to say that. Yeah,
What?
if they could put it back to Norwegian, it could have a bit of an age, maybe. I don't know, but
no, I'm just mad.
I think it's running the risk of being a novelty, and I don't see it qualifying. Alesia, I can see your face. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, so I have to say, like, my internet is not the best right now, so I was just like following along, like, that's basically what I was hearing. But I mean, I'm not that bummed because I really didn't follow Melody Grand Prix, to be honest. Like, I didn't have all of this time to like get invested in Monument, and that's why I say there is a power in not following along with the national selections, because it is somewhat freeing that it's not like I just been bonding with this song for the past couple of weeks and now it's, proverbially kind of gone from the Eurovision running. I literally just listened to Tick's song today, and I can tell you right now confidently, I don't see this qualifying. Not this year, not for Norway. They don't have like this great track record of Sweden to then be able, I think, to kind of take risks. There are certain countries that I think are allowed to take a little bit of a risk because they've really got like kind of this nice track record behind them to propel them forward. I do think it runs the risk of becoming a novelty act, not in a good way. I think in kind of like a jokey way with the styling and what's happening on the stage. It's very like kitsch, and I could be down with the kitsch if the song is giving me something. The song is like a really random, like generic pop song. I was not wowed by this track at all. At all. And honestly, if Sweden, to me, sonically, it's on the same bar as Set Me Free is better than this track. It
100%.
is. I mean, because at least, and I mean, at least like live, Set Me Free is just better. Track wise.
Because this sounds like Backstreet Boys in one person, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's so generic, but then the staging is so like out there that I'm like, to me, we're not getting like camp in a good way sonically. You know what I mean? And then we're just getting like kind of camp staging that's gonna feel very like WTF. Juries will tank it. Televoters will kind of be like, okay. So Norway is not to me.
Who's in their finals? Who's in their finals? Oh, semifinals.
Second two, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're in semi two, which is the weaker semi, honestly. But this one is solidly.
I don't think that's gonna help
but it's not qualifying. Yeah, it's not qualifying.
Come on. Like,
sorry.
If they made this in Norwegian, I'll be a little bit happy. If they keep this in English, I am gonna be mad at y'all. Like, this is, and
that's the other thing. Even if it's in Norwegian, I think it'll help it. It'll help it.
Absolutely.
But again,
no, the staging is a killer. The staging is a killer. It's like make fun of Eurovision.
Because back to Denmark, they had a lot of songs in Danish, and I low-key wants one of those songs to win, so we can send some. Norway's in semi-1. All right. Like if Denmark does belong in Danish,
then they're definite. Forget it.
They're not.
Sorry.
But listen, if Denmark does it in Danish and then Norwegian change it back to Norwegian, maybe the Swedes will be like, okay, we can send something in Swedish, and I'll be happy because I think we should. But I don't.
You told me
it's qualifying. It's super important to have the song in a local language. If it's just don't have this kind of quality, like how does this really matter?
What happens when the national final can turn into a popularity contest. Like Norway knows who Tix is. Norway gets Tix. We don't.
But it was the same for the Keiino last year. It killed the quality. Like there was, like in my opinion, there was way better quality songs. Like in general, like there were like 3/4. Like Kim was awesome. Atle, okay, maybe two American, great. Then there was who was there? Another 3/4, like the Witch Woods, that was great as well. Live performance was awesome today. so many great songs, you know, so many great things, and then it's just a matter of popularity, probably, or maybe his story is just that big that matters more to Eurovision or fans.
We see how this goes at Eurovision, especially with Spain when they sent Amaya and 2018. That love story was so big and important to the Spanish people through Operación Triunfo. And then it got to Lisbon, and people were just like, we don't know any of this background, and it just sank. So this could happen with Tix. We don't know him or his story,
and you will have like 30 seconds to explain it in the postcard. Like, sorry.
Yeah, and it's not enough. So
and this is why I love Melfest, because that would never happen to Melfest. We're too like, it needs to be quality over whoever sings it. Which I kind of feel like, unfortunately, that's what happened in 2016. Because people were just falling in love with France, not the song, kind of thing. Just because people are like, he's charming, we love him, he's going to win. Do we like the song? We don't really care. But again, we didn't care much about Melfest last year. I saw something that I was going to comment on, but I forgot what it was.
Well, actually, we're over an hour. We got to shut it down now. Thank you for joining me. Everybody, it was Super Saturday for real, and we've got like one more. There's like one more Super Saturday, but today really felt like Super Saturday.
It was like the last point was Saturday, like sad, the word just being a bit cheesy, but for me it's a Saturday.
Come on.
Well, today wasn't that. I mean, today wasn't that bad.
I can do it. I'm on the internet.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just have to say today wasn't that bad for me, because I wasn't really following Norway anyway. But thank y'all so much for joining me, and thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. What are you waiting for? Eurovision season is here. I am so excited about it. Thank y'all.